Alright lads, hope you're having a wonderful time at this most wonderful time of year, and I also hope you don't mind my voice in your ears. Before we begin and get into today's skin, it's been a while, as I'm sure you're all aware, and I have a few exciting updates to share. Don't worry, I'll stop speaking in rhyme. It's exhausting to keep up for long periods of time. First of all, Vampire Batman is fixed. I made the face even more disgusting by taking what I already had, which is Man Bat's wrinkles layered over diseased Bruce from the story mode, and layered shriveled up Blackest Night Batman from Arkham Origins over the top. The resulting texture is truly nightmare inducing, and boy does it pay off in game. Also, the forehead wrinkles are back, hooray! And the best part is, it only took me 2 months. Why you still watch me? I have no idea. Second, this isn't the Christmas special. This was supposed to go up last Saturday, but I had problem after problem, and I just couldn't get it done until today. So you, yes you, lucky viewer, have a double upload of mediocre content headed straight for your subscription box. Provided you're subscribed, of course. Which you should be. Don't make me come to your house and politely request your support. I think that's enough plugging. The YouTube overlords should spare me this day. I mean, new music channel upload in the cards. Now, late competition entry. I mean, I can't upload according to my own schedule, let alone someone else's. So, of course, that didn't work. Smash that like button. Thank God, they're gone. As I was saying, the Christmas special is tomorrow, and with it comes the return of a beloved classic. The thing I love about doing this is knowing I'm making people happy when I complete fan-favourite requests or bring back old games. What makes me happier still is when it takes about 5 minutes to make, so I can spend more of my time being a lazy git and doing piss all. With that out of the way, welcome back to SBO's ASMR Power Hour, where comedy goes to die. You'd think I'd be able to record one of these commentaries at a reasonable hour for once, but alas, my nocturnal vices strike once more. Onto the skin. Thanks, SBO. We're here in Gotham where it's still raining. Why am I doing a weatherman gag? What's wrong with me? Well, diving headfirst into the street below, perfect symbolism for my channel's analytics, I would like to divert your attention to the majestic Batman. See, now I'm doing it like a nature documentary. Why am I like this? Why can't I just make a video? Why am I like this? Well, what you all want to see is... Well, actually, I don't really know what you want to see. I'm guessing you want to see me talk about the mod. So, here I go. Dance, monkey, dance. So, this one was interesting to make. So, first of all, I did change some things up to how I normally do cartoon mods. I put some Gaussian blur kind of shading, similar thing that I did with the 2004 Robin with the legs. And I put a lot of that kind of all over it, and also some subtle line detailing on the belt. Now, see, this was an odd one because I spent so long making it that I really confused myself with the nature of the mesh, and so what I was doing is I thought I was using the 60s cape for this, but then I realised that the 60s cape is really weird, and that's why back when I set this up, I actually did the Dark Knight Returns cape textures, and I didn't realise I'd done that, and I confused myself when I was looking back, because I was like, I haven't done the 70s or the 60s cape, and I'm using the 70s head and the 60s body. I haven't edited a cape, I guess I forgot to edit a cape. And I realised, no, it was just for a completely different third model. For some reason, that's how I chose to set it up. And really, the reason why I'm telling you this is because, moral of the story, if you're working on a project, especially a project like mod, where you're cross-referencing between multiple different models and you've got textures from different models, or even if you're doing some kind of like essay where you're researching from different areas, just make sure that you take notes of what you're doing and why, otherwise you will royally confuse yourself. That out of the way, this was very heavily requested, and I really wanted to do it justice, and I wasn't really sure how, because the 70s suit in Night, you can't remove the oval from it. you just can't. You can with a material code, but it leaves a gaping hole in his chest, much like the gaping hole I feel in my soul, growing larger every day. And as a result of this, it looks bad. You can't mod it. You can't do anything with it. No one likes it. No one wants it. It's not fun. And so my other options were the Asylum suit, which is kind of chunky and ugly, and the last option was the iconic grey and black suit, which I've used a lot, and just the belt being Dick Grayson's belt from, you know, Grant Morrison's run and other books, it just doesn't work. And so the guy who requested it suggested, why not use the 60s body? Or maybe I suggested it. I actually can't remember. See, this is another thing. It was so long ago when all this first started working, and this is why I recommend that you take notes of these things before you start recording your ramblings into a video that you're about to upload that same night, because God knows I'm not going to go and check if I'm right. I'm just going to upload this as is, because I'm a lazy bugger. Now, all of that said, the 60s body, the reason why I didn't want to use it at first is because he's a bit of a chubby boy, okay? And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that for this, but honestly, thinking about it, the very strange boxy barrel-chested proportions of the cartoon series, this build of his body actually better represents that than like the muscular 70s suit body does. So in a way, it's kind of a good thing that I can't remove the oval, because it made me think to use this. I think it made the skin more accurate as a whole. Now, outside of the meshes I used and my reasoning for using them, there's not too much to say about this one, because it is ultimately just a pretty simple cartoonish skin. You know, it's some plain colours with some reflective spec maps designed to look animated, and like I said, I put some more shading and line detailing into it than I usually would with an animated skin. But that was about it. I suppose the only other thing worth mentioning is the Dark Knight Returns cape, as I spoke about. It's quite rounded, and the new Batman Adventures cape is supposed to have lots of spikes, and I wasn't really sure how to do it, and I finally went and got the alpha maps, which are what control like the shape of a cape, and I messed around with it a whole bunch tonight, and I just couldn't get what I wanted, because if I made these spikes triangular, it meant that when he started gliding, they got spread out in a really weird way, and they just looked like rounded. It was hard to explain, but it made his cape just look like a flower when he's gliding. Instead of having spikes, they were just lots of like rounded petals or something. And so the only real solution I could find was to make the spikes less triangular and more sort of rounded. The indents are kind of rounded, and this means that once they get stretched out, they look a bit more like regular spikes. So I kind of, because sharp angles were getting stretched into circles, I decided to make convex circles that were going inwards, so when they got stretched out, they looked like straight lines, if that makes sense. Because the game was overcompensating for whatever I actually put on the texture when gliding. However, what you put on the texture is a pretty accurate representation of what you get when he's just standing or dive bombing or running or anything like that. So I think this is about as close as I can get, because any further in either direction either makes the gliding look really weird or everything else look really weird. I think this, I think it's a solid look. You can see he's gliding right now, and you can just see the spikes on the cape. I think it looks fine. So yeah, I think that's about it, unless I'm forgetting anything. Hopefully I've remembered to put the correct images over the screen and you know, show off different textures and such. Editing me, you guys in the comments can berate him if he didn't do a very good job. But yeah, I mean, I think that's about it. I think that's about everything that I want to say. So thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow for the Christmas special. And have a nice night. Have a good one.